You have been told that it is difficult to manifest the things you truly desire. For years, you have been told that achieving the life you envision requires endless patience, flawless positive thinking, complex rituals, and constant effort to maintain a high vibration. According to what you have been told, manifestation is a mystical ability that only a select few can attain. But what if all of this is being said to distract you from simple truths? The truth is, the law of attraction is not complicated. On the contrary, it is extremely simple, yet no one does it. Right now, you are in a quantum field filled with infinite possibilities, and this field responds not to your efforts, but to your alignment. You shape this field with your thoughts, intentions, and emotions. However, this shaping comes not from your words, but from your inner consistency. Because it's not about wishing, it's not about wanting. The real issue is creating a frequency alignment between you and what you desire. Wayne Dyer once said, "You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are." You can say the right words, you can desire the right things. However, if your inner world, the beliefs, emotions, and subconscious identity you carry, is not in harmony with what you desire, the quantum field does not respond. What emerges is not your desires but your state of being. In this video, we'll uncover the difference between emotional intelligence and the law of attraction, and once you understand the connection between the two, you'll instantly attract what you desire. There won't be any complex structures in this video. Watch it all the way through, and take the first step toward transforming your reality. Believe me, it will be much easier than you think. Before we go into this, I want you to do 3 things. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave the number 777 in the comments. You can also share it with someone you want to benefit from this video and support their spiritual awakening. Now let's go deeper. Emotional intelligence is often associated solely with understanding people. However, this definition is incomplete. In reality, emotional intelligence goes far beyond analyzing people's emotions. The real issue is recognizing the situations, events, and recurring patterns in your life. Why are you there? Why do these events happen to you? When you stop, you need to ask yourself, I am in this situation, right in the middle of something. But what exactly is this thing? And most likely, that thing is a series of conditions or dilemmas that challenge you, make you think, and sometimes wear you out. What if you attracted all of this? This is where the law of attraction comes into play. The invisible law of the universe. Like attracts like. What you focus on, you magnify. Whatever thought you energize, you tune into its frequency. You've been told up until now, think positively, make affirmations, create a vision board, visualize your dream, and it will come true. And to a certain extent, these seem to work. But deep down, something is missing. Because all these tools deal with the surface mind. The real power lies deeper in the frequency of emotion. Let's do a little experiment. Don't think about a chimpanzee wearing a red tie and a blue and white striped suit right now. What happened? You thought about it, didn't you? This is exactly how the law of attraction works. Your mind doesn't follow the think command. It follows the energy you focus on. Similarly, the universe doesn't take what you say you don't want. It takes what you've emotionally charged. That's why even thinking about not failing with fear energy puts you in resonance with failure. The more emotion you pour into anything, the more of that thing you receive. But there's an important distinction to note here. Are your words and feelings on the same frequency? Look at the gym members who signed up but no longer come. Because what we've done is taken the laws of attraction and misapplied them. We haven't taken our feelings seriously enough to manifest what we truly deserve. Everyone has wanted something, but very few have believed in it, and even fewer have aligned themselves with the frequency that will bring that desire into reality. That's why the same types of events keep happening in your life, because what we've done is taken the laws of attraction and misapplied them. We haven't taken our feelings seriously enough to manifest what we truly deserve. So how do you stop that? The answer is much simpler than you think. Observe what you feel and what you think. Every sentence that runs through your mind, every thought, and every emotion that arises within you is a command you send out into the universe. Every repetition you see in your life is the return of those commands. When most of your thoughts become automatic, you begin to unconsciously produce the same energy over and over again. If a person constantly repeats phrases like, "I'm never lucky," "This always happens to me," or "Everyone else gets it, but I can't," over time, these thoughts turn into beliefs. Beliefs are the programming of your subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is a powerful engine that controls everything in the background of your life. Spend more time thinking about things you want, because the mind, especially the subconscious, resonates with whatever you give more energy and attention to. You cannot create a positive life with negative thoughts. It's like trying to shape water with fire. If your focus is constantly on lack, fear, or inadequacy, no matter how much affirmation you do, the universe will work with that vibration. And here's the most common mistake. People think they want one thing, but what they feel is something else entirely. When they say, "I want love," they're actually feeling the fear of being abandoned. When they say, "I want to be rich," they're secretly worried about money. And at this point, the universe doesn't listen to what you say. It listens to the frequency you're vibrating at. Because the universe operates on energy, not words. The human mind constantly wanders between the guilt of the past and the anxiety of the future. Yet true creation happens in the present. Stop being anxious about past and future and operate in right now. Staying in the moment means living consciously. When you become aware of what you are thinking, you also have the power to change it. And every change in thought is a small but effective shift in your energy field. Conscious thought is merely the starting point of transformation. The true power lies in the subconscious. No matter what your conscious mind desires, if your subconscious believes in something different, the system will always follow the subconscious's direction. That's why observing your daily thoughts is the first step, because through this observation, you gradually train your subconscious. You will train your subconscious mind to manifest your desires. The subconscious is trained through repetition. Small moments of awareness throughout the day can lead to big changes over time. For example, pay attention to the first thought that comes to your mind when you wake up in the morning. Is it worry, gratitude, disappointment? These are clues to the frequency at which your subconscious has been operating throughout the night. And these morning thoughts determine the energy you will experience throughout the day. Sometimes people ask, "I'm doing my best, so why isn't it working?" This is where another reality comes into play. Everything happens for a reason. Yes, sometimes even the absence of what you want is meant to prepare you for a higher reality. The absence of that job may be to make room for a greater opportunity. That relationship ended because it no longer matched your frequency. The universe does not punish you, it aligns you. However, to recognize this, you must be able to view events from a higher perspective. If the same types of events keep repeating in your life, there is an unresolved belief, an untransformed energy. And this is the most critical point of the law of attraction. What you don't transform continues to control you. If you keep carrying the energy of past events, you cannot build a new reality. Energy wants to flow. When it doesn't flow, it accumulates and eventually leads to internal conflicts or physical problems. Seeing the law of attraction as just a think and it will happen game is the biggest misconception. This law requires emotional integrity as much as mental awareness. Without transforming your feelings, you cannot change your life with affirmations alone. So the questions you should now be asking yourself are, what thought patterns are holding me back? What do I truly believe? Do my words align with my feelings? What do I want mentally? But what do I believe I deserve emotionally? The answers may scare you, but they also liberate you. Because once you recognize something, you can transform it. You can now step out of autopilot and take the creative seat. And yes, this is a process. But every moment of awareness realigns you on a frequency level. The mind repeats habits. As you become aware of this repetition, you slowly draw a new energy map. This new map guides you toward a path closer to your desires. And here comes the million-dollar solution. First, observe your thoughts. Because everything you see in your life begins in an invisible realm. The chair you're sitting on, the shirt you're wearing, even the screen you're reading this on, all of these were once just an idea, a thought. And that thought was given energy, imbued with intention, and eventually manifested in the physical world. That is precisely why naming things as if they already exist and feeling accordingly is the key to creating in harmony with the universe. But the mistake most people make is assuming that conscious thinking is sufficient. Yet conscious thoughts are usually just reactive. They are merely instant responses to events. True creativity does not lie at this level, but in the subconscious. The subconscious is the home of automatic habits, emotional patterns, and deep-seated beliefs. Unfortunately, many of us have negative patterns ingrained from childhood. Programmed messages like, "You're not good enough," "Making money is hard," or "Love causes pain," unconsciously guide you. These patterns determine the outcome of your life, regardless of what you consciously desire. Therefore, your current reality is not only a reflection of your thoughts, but also of your deep-seated beliefs. The good news is that the subconscious mind can be trained. However, this requires disciplined awareness. Start by observing what you are thinking and feeling right now. Stop being reactive and become proactive. In other words, stop automatically reacting to events and start responding consciously. When you do this, you change your frequency. Your energy no longer reacts to events. Events begin to react to your energy. For example, you encounter an event in your daily life that triggers you. Someone upsets you. Normally, you would feel overwhelmed, get angry, and respond automatically. But this time, you pause. You ask yourself, what is this supposed to teach me right now? This question takes you out of victim psychology and into creative consciousness. You are no longer just exposed to what is happening, you are extracting meaning from it. And this meaning takes you to a higher frequency, a more conscious energy field. Thus the mind comes out of autopilot. Every event, every emotion, every situation becomes an opportunity to reprogram the subconscious. And this reprogramming happens through repetition, determination, and consistency. Examine every moment for its meaning. Every moment you don't give meaning to unconsciously takes you back to the old program. Yet every moment has a message. Every moment of awareness takes you to a new parallel reality. It may not change instantly, but if you keep doing it, the universe's response to you will also change. Over time, you will notice that not only events, but also people are changing. Because you are now on a different vibration, you are more aware, you react less and create more. This is the true meaning of the law of attraction. Your inner world is a map of your outer reality. That's why, every morning when you wake up, every time you make a decision, and every time an event occurs, remember this question: what is this moment teaching me? What can I transform in this cycle? Creativity is not about control, it is about choosing the frequency. And everything comes down to aligning that frequency with your subconscious. The more meaning you assign, the more conscious you become, and the more consistently you apply it, the more clearly you will attract your new reality. This is not a magical system, it is a neutral law of the universe. Now you are consciously partnering with this law, and this partnership is taking you out of your old habits and transforming you into a new version of yourself. And this new version is no longer just living, it is consciously creating. Remember, everything in your life happens for a reason. There are no coincidences. Every encounter, every situation, and every test is there to teach you something. Your responsibility is to question why these events are happening. When someone upsets you, your first reaction may be anger. But what you need to do here is stop and ask yourself, why is this happening? What aspect of myself is this reflecting? Because often, the things that annoy us are related to aspects of ourselves that we have suppressed or have not confronted. Things we don't understand wear us out. But understanding only comes when we choose to be proactive. You don't just live through the situation, you examine it. Why now? Why this person? Why this event? Every action, every thought comes from a source. And that source is the subconscious. That's why asking why is like turning off autopilot. Living your life as a conscious creator rather than a spectator starts right here. Remember, controlling your mind is not easy. The greatest achievement is mental control. Disciplining your thoughts and tracking where you direct your attention every day takes time. However, this time is not wasted. It is an investment. Because when you can control your mind, you begin to control your life. As an evolving being, remember this, we come from a greater source. That source shaped not only our physical existence, but also our spiritual journey. Before we came, we made certain decisions. We chose the contrasts we would experience, the challenges we would face. And throughout this journey, every contrast will teach us balance. Every chaos will teach us order. Every wound will teach us healing. So accept that everything that happens to you is a teacher. Every event is a message. Every difficulty a lens. Everything is on the stage to elevate you to a higher awareness. When you are proactive, you receive these messages. When you remain reactive, the cycles repeat. Now take a step back. Think about any event you experienced today, a moment when you felt angry, hurt, or judgmental. Ask yourself again, what is this trying to tell me? And enter into inner silence to find the answer. Because only in that silence will you hear your true voice. Because that is where your inner guidance begins. Because inner peace determines outer results. Do not be afraid to seek the greater truth. Calm your mind, meditate, listen to your circumstances. Allow them to speak to your inner self, just as radio signals become clearer as they approach. This world is not merely the reality seen with the eyes. When you silence the external voices, you begin to hear the voice of your inner guidance, and this voice leads you not only to peace but also to direction. Because sometimes the answers to questions you cannot consciously answer emerge in the silence. Seek not just the truth, but the greater truth. Truth is not in statistics, events, or others' opinions. It is within your essence. Behind every significant achievement you have made so far lies a confrontation, confronting fears, confronting others, confronting culture. Success does not occur in the comfort zone. It happens at the point of transformation. When you connect with your true self, you gain inner stability despite external conditions. And this stability offers you the most important gift, clarity. Clarity gives birth to passion. When the fog inside you clears, you see much more clearly why you are here and where you want to go. This is a spark. The name of this spark is passion, purpose, presence. This trio is an internal combination that raises your frequency and aligns you with the universe. If you want true transformation, you must connect with these three concepts. Finding your passion is not just about discovering what you love. It is also about discovering what you cannot resist, what problem you want to solve, and why you want to wake up in the morning. Purpose is what gives you energy. And presence, the awareness of the present moment, is the only space where this entire process begins and unfolds. True change begins by freeing yourself from the past, letting go of expectations about the future, and choosing to live in the present. When your mind stays in the present, your emotions begin to align. And at that point, the universe enters into a true synchronization with you. Because the future is not lived. The future is what you create in the present moment. The future is a reflection of the decisions you make today. So if you want to change the direction of your life, you must start right now. The entire process is that simple. Feel, believe, receive. You have the ability to create a reality that is far more powerful than you imagine. This power does not come from the external world, but from your inner world. You are a magnet, and whatever you feel, you attract to yourself. But feeling is not limited to emotional reactions. It is consciously and intentionally choosing what to feel. This is where choices come into play. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What reality are you nurturing? If you invest in fear, you amplify it. But if you approach reality with awareness and courage, confronting it head-on, then the doors of the universe open. Reality reveals itself. This state of awareness takes you out of the ordinary level of consciousness. You no longer just survive. You become a creator. You enter a state of consciousness that shapes your own experience. And this consciousness rewards you not only with material abundance, but also with inner fulfillment. Because the law of attraction works not just by wishing, but through conscious alignment. And the source of this alignment is mental clarity, emotional wholeness, and spiritual connection. This is how you create the life you dream of. When you begin to understand yourself, when you realize how your thoughts and feelings create a magnetic field, you stop being a victim and start being creative. Instead of trying to control the outside world, you focus on transforming your inner world. Because everything you see outside is a reflection of your inner world. Your reality does not come from what you think. It comes from how much emotion you attach to your thoughts. Thoughts give direction, but emotions give power. Thoughts determine the frequency, and emotions send that frequency out into the universe. That is why it is not enough to change your mind. You must also awaken your heart. Many people have learned to say the right things with their minds. I am successful. I deserve happiness. Life treats me well. However, if these words do not resonate within them, the universe does not receive the words, but the underlying frequency. In other words, if what you say and what you feel are not in harmony, the result will be mixed. True transformation begins by achieving this harmony. What you have inside is what you have outside. If you have gratitude inside, life will give you more reasons to be grateful. If you have fear inside, life will give you more reasons to be afraid. The universe is not your teacher, it is your mirror. It reflects what you give it. That's why you can't organize the outside world without organizing your inner world. People often try to fix their external relationships, money, and success. But if there's an unresolved belief inside, all that effort is wasted. Every effort may take you one step forward, but you'll be pulled back into the same cycle, because your core frequency hasn't changed. And this is where awareness comes in. You must ask yourself, is this thought mine, or is it a belief inherited from society, family, or past experiences? Because the real you is beyond the patterns of the past. The real you is a silent, free, and creative force. When you begin to observe yourself, you realize how much your mind is filled with repetitive and limiting patterns. But this is not a bad thing, because awareness is the first step toward change. Every thought you observe can no longer control you. It is up to you to choose whether to accept it or not. When you begin to align with your inner voice, you no longer need to look to the outside world for guidance, because your guidance comes from within. An inspiration you receive in silence is more powerful than 1,000 pieces of advice from outside, and you are no longer a reactive person, but a creative being. Remind yourself you are an energy field, and this field is constantly active. Every thought, every feeling, every intention shapes this field. The more conscious you are, the clearer this field becomes, and a clear field creates clear results. The issue is no longer how will I do it, but rather how do I feel. Your feelings guide you, your feelings shape you, and that's why, instead of trying to change the outside world, you must create a new frequency within yourself. New thoughts, new feelings, new habits. That's when things begin to change in your life. The events you thought were coincidences are actually the product of your new frequency. New people, new opportunities, new inspirations. Because you are no longer just someone who wants something. You are someone who has aligned themselves and taken action. And remember, once you achieve this, it becomes repeatable. Change is not a one-time opportunity. It is your birthright. All you need to do is tune into the frequency. And believe me, what you seek is also seeking you. When you feel that desire, it's already in motion. What you long for is seeking you just as much as you are seeking it. So go after it. Trust that you will receive it, because after all, that which you seek is also seeking you. See you in the next timeline.